And yeah, I'm just going to start your reading right now for a Gemini. So yeah, the first card you have your past is the King of Wands. Yeah, he looks as if he's just about to get up and start running over to someone. It's almost like he's someone's yelled something out and he's kind of standing up or sitting up straight and he's looking up to see who said something. And I think that's what I'm seeing here. I think it's something like, you know, it's this feeling of suddenly feeling unsettled and having to quickly get up and see what's happening. And I think you might have heard something. I think you might have actually heard someone say something. And I think you didn't know quite what to do about this. It was like, I want to get up, I want to do this, I want to kind of take action. But then is that the right thing to do? I don't think it is. And I think you kind of stopped yourself. I think one reason was, I think you didn't want to create a scene wherever this was, and I think there were other people here. I think another reason was that you didn't want to hurt someone, and I think someone else would have been hurt if some kind of drama or whatever was started. I am seeing family around this, so this might have been some kind of family occasion or celebration even. It might have even been that. And because I am seeing a lot of people around this, and people who know each other really well. So it might have been that you didn't want to spoil this celebration or the atmosphere of this. So yeah, this king is really kind of, I think you kind of you went to stand up, you kind of, or stand up or say something, you're kind of upset with what someone said. And then you thought, oh, you're really thinking, should I say something? Should I say something? And you decided not to in the end. That's what I'm seeing in there. But I think even though you didn't actually take action or do anything about whatever you heard, I think this was still in your mind. It might still be now, I don't know, but you're still kind of deciding, will I do anything about this? I really don't want to let this person get away with it, but I don't want to create a big fight. I don't want to hurt anyone either. So it's that kind of mixed feelings around this. That's what I'm getting around that. So the next card you have your past is the Empress. So yeah, so here's this beautiful nurturing woman, this mother, and I was seeing someone you didn't want to hurt. I was seeing family in that King of Wands as well. So it might have been a mother, might have been a some other motherly figure like an aunt or a grandmother or something. And so, yeah, so you didn't want to hurt whoever this was. I think it might have even been a celebration around them. I don't know, but it was some family thing where you didn't want to hurt people and cause any problems. I'm also seeing you having to kind of maybe hold your temper or not say anything or keep things quiet about something else as well. And this is an ongoing situation. This is completely separate from the other one. You used to be around whoever this is. You're probably not now. I don't think you are at all. I think this actually might be an ex who I'm seeing here. And yeah, what I'm seeing here is you're having to take care of yourself and probably someone else as well, and a lot of other things that you actually shouldn't be 100% responsible for. But you are responsible for them. You're finding yourself responsible for things because of this person who should be taking responsibility, but they're not. That's what I'm seeing. Now, you're not taking action around this either. You're not doing anything about this person, but that's for a reason. I think there's a process that's happening, or it's something like that, or you're waiting to see how things go before you actually do anything around this person. Now, if that's resonating, if this is making sense to you, you're definitely right to do that. This is about something that is very important to you. So you're absolutely right not to jump in and mess up anything or do anything. You're right to kind of keep on sitting this out, keep on waiting, because I think things are happening behind the scenes. And I think you'll know when the time's right to take action, but it's definitely not now. And I think you know that. I think you're just sitting and waiting to see what's going to happen, waiting for some kind of signal or something, and then you'll know whether that's, then you'll know that that's the time to move forward. That's what I'm seeing. I really hope that makes sense to someone. So the next card you have your past is the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, again, I'm seeing this person again who left you to do things, left you to take care of things. They had this responsibility. They still do have a responsibility, I think. I think they have a responsibility to take care of people, or to shelter some people in some way, help them out because of this arch on this card. And obviously archers shelter people when it's raining or whatever. So, I think they might have even promised to start a family with you. This ex might have started to join a family or be married or start a family with you. There was some serious promise, some very serious thing that you believed. And you took it very seriously. I'm just looking at this couple in the middle of this card, and it looks as if they're having a conversation and everything's fine. And, I think when you were with them, with this ex, they gave you this impression that you'd have a solid future together. And, it seemed fine. I think you believed this. But if you look at this again, there's a watchtower, and it's right between this couple's heads, the couple in the middle, so it's right between them. And obviously when you're in a watchtower, you can look down and you can see everything. So this is telling me that now, before you couldn't see what was happening, but now you're in this position where you can look back over everything and you can see this person for what they truly are. You couldn't then when you're with them, but you can now. You can see exactly what they're like. I don't think you'd believe anything they'd have to tell you now, really. And I think this is outside of your control. It is going through some kind of process, whatever this thing is that you have with them. It might even be a court process, it might not be. But whatever this is, they can't fool you anymore. They cannot fool you anymore. They could in the past, they can't now. You can see everything. You have this watchtower, and it's right between the couple. So it's right between them. So it's like, now you can't get close to me. You can't tell me anything, because I've got this watchtower and I can go up the top of it and I can see everything. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your present is the Six of Cups. The strange thing is, I think they actually look back on memories, happy memories between you. They look back fondly and they kind of say, oh, I remember that time, wasn't that nice, and all of that kind of thing. So it's very, very strange. So there's someone who obviously you can't trust, and you can see that now, but they still look back on these times as sort of almost like a golden time when things were good between you. And the way you see things is that, a lot of things happened, and whatever happened was really based on an illusion, because you can't trust them now that you know everything. But they don't see things like that. They see things as being kind of really nice and perfect even at certain times, and they look back on these times and they're like, oh, wasn't that really nice? It's that kind of thing I'm seeing. There's an axe carved in stone on this card. It's just on the bottom, you can just see it. So there's this big axe, and of course that can represent the number 10, and the 10 of Cups is like the ultimate love and commitment card. So and this is how they saw things, that you were so in love and you had the number 10 and all of that wonderful stuff, and it's actually not really true. It's not really how things were. It's very, very, very strange. They might be very deluded about things, how things were in your past. I think if they're making some kind of little problems, or they're trying to in this process, if they're kind of messing things up a bit, because I'm getting the feeling that they might be doing that. I think that might be because subconsciously they'd kind of like things to go back to that time that you had together, you know, and sometimes when people feel like that, they don't want to move forward, so they kind of mess things up and delay things. And, you know, that can happen quite often. Sometimes they don't realize they're doing it. But, you know, they can't really do anything about this now because this process is going to take its course. They can try and mess up little things, but they can't really do anything now. So try not to worry. If they are trying to mess things up or go backwards or mess it up, they can't really do that. I think this process is going to take its course, and I think it's going to take a fair course, and there's going to be a conclusion. That's what I'm seeing in that. So the last card you have your present, or sorry, the next card you have your present is the Seven of Pentacles. I'm seeing this family situation again. I think there might have actually been a little bit of jealousy behind whatever this person said that you heard in the King of Wands. It's some kind of either family jealousy between siblings or cousins, or it's something like that. And I don't think you're involved directly in this. I think you just heard this and you kind of felt like protecting or defending someone, and then you kind of stood back and you decided not to. So, you know, I think this might have actually had something to do with money or comparing careers or some kind of status or something like that. You know, this man has a lot of coins and it's in the bush next to him, or on the bush next to him, I should say. But there's only one coin in front of him. So it's like he can see next to him there's this great big lot of money, but he only has one coin. So whoever this was, I think they thought there was some kind of unfairness going on. Maybe they thought someone had more than them, or they were being treated unfairly. Someone else got something. It might have even been an inheritance, because I am seeing family. Something was unfair. Someone got a bigger, whatever it was, I don't know, bigger gift or something. Now, I keep on getting this feeling that you're still not going to say anything about this, but I'm still not seeing a conclusion at this time. I think there's definitely more to come around this. It's not over. I can't see who's going to do what, but it's certainly not over yet. I think there's still this jealousy going on. I think it's still kind of brewing around, and I think this is going to eventually come out again. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have your presence, the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, this is obviously the slowest knight, and you know, he's looking at this coin that's in front of him, and he's just kind of standing there staring at this coin. And you know, all the knights are supposed to be fighters. They're supposed to be the kind of the big strong men who go into battle. But if you look at this knight, if someone on the other side came up behind him who he was supposed to be fighting, and kind of struck him with a sword from the side or behind or from anywhere, he probably wouldn't notice, because he's so busy staring at this coin. He's sitting there, he's slow, he's not moving, and he's just sitting there looking at this coin. So what I'm seeing here is that I think this is the way someone feels about you. You're a precious coin. You're a precious coin to someone. And I think this person is someone who might feel a little bit as if you have some kind of barrier between you, or you're kind of a little bit standoffish, or they're not quite sure where they stand with you. I think they'd really like to talk to you more. They'd love to be with you more. I think you might be taking your time with this person for some reason, maybe. You know, you do have a lot on your mind. You're a busy person. You also have these other things going on with this this process that's kind of bothering you. But whatever stage you are at with this person, you know, whether you're just friends or whether you're in a relationship or whether this is kind of heading toward that, I'm not sure where this is. I just feel as if you need to know that this is a really stable person, and they're actually the complete opposite of this axe that I was seeing. You know, if this person says something to you, They mean it. They're very, very honest. This knight's pure earth. He's down to earth. He's steady. And, again, if he says something, he means it. So now they might not be overly romantic. They probably won't sing to you or send you poems or whatever. But their words are true. What they have to say to you is true. And I just wanted to say that to you. And yeah, of course, romance and poems and all these things are one thing. But if they don't have honesty behind them, they're really useless. They're empty words. And this is the kind of person you want around you. That's what I'm seeing. Of course, it's up to you. You do whatever you want. If you have, whatever instincts around them, you might not think that. But that's what I'm seeing there. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have, your future, is the Nine of Wands. So yeah, maybe you're taking your time because you're just feeling a little bit battered, a little bit bruised emotionally, maybe because of what's happened between you and this ex. Maybe it might be that. I don't think you have any great big problems to worry about this. It is in the hands of this process now, so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to fight them or say anything. It's kind of all out of your hands. But I still think things are coming up in your mind, and probably for you emotionally as well. So you still have all of that in your energy. You're probably still hearing things about them. You're being reminded of them. And I think you'll still be like that for a while until this has totally come to some conclusion. So that might be why you're taking your time with this other person. And this is going to die down after a while, definitely. When this process is over, then you'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief, and then you'll be able to move forward. And I think this person would be willing to wait for that as well. I think they're a very, very patient, very, very solid person. That's what I'm seeing. So you don't have to worry about that if you are. So the next card you have, your future, strength. Yeah, so I think this is here to remind you. This is to remind you of your strength, literally. You've been through so much, and this ex has put you through so much, so many things. And I can see that you are coming out of this. You're a little bit bruised once again. You're a bit tired. That's what I was seeing in the Nine of Wands. And you might still feel like this for a while. I think even after this is all over, you'll probably still feel a bit like this, just exhausted from the whole thing. And, you won't be quite ready to go all in 100% with this other person, with this relationship yet, I think. It's going to take some time for the barriers to come down properly, I think. But, they're very patient, they're very gentle. And the other thing is, you might not be used to how patient and gentle they are. It might take you some time to actually be comfortable around that. I know that sounds strange. I mean, you might be thinking, why would I be uncomfortable around someone who's gentle and kind? But, sometimes we get used to one kind of person, one kind of thing. And, it can be a bit difficult to make that subconscious shift from that to the kind of person we deserve. And, just know that you do deserve them. You do deserve this really good, solid, stable person in your life. You absolutely deserve them. So, it's all just going to take time. But again, I can see that they are patient. So the last card you have for your future is the Five of Wands. So yes, here we are. Here's this great big messy card. I always see this as a great big messy card. I am seeing this again. This is this family mess. This is this family drama. You were trying to avoid this. You're staying out of this. I think you're still going to stay out of this, but I think you are going to witness a little bit more of this drama. I think you are going to decide just to stand back and not have anything to do with this. I think you are going to go to some kind of a gathering or some kind of thing where this person will be there and the other person they're angry with will be there, and you're probably going to be anticipating this, and you're probably going to be getting a little bit nervous as it gets closer to the time, because you'll be thinking, oh, what if they say this? What if this happens? What if that happens? Now, there is probably going to be some kind of argument. I don't think, no, it won't be as scary as what's on this card. I'm not seeing your relatives jumping up and down with sticks or anything like that. But I am seeing some kind of disagreement. I think someone might even walk out. It might be that serious, but you won't be directly involved in this. You're going to be on the outside of this. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, this is probably still going to drag on for a while, this drama, but I think you're going to make a conscious decision just to stay out of this now. I think it's just going to be a bit much with everything else that's going on. You're just going to let it drop as much as you can. That's what I'm seeing there. I think in the beginning you were very protective over someone, but now I just think it's becoming just too much for you now, I think. So Gemini, I hope this resonated. I hope it made sense. There was a lot in this. But yeah, as you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you'd like to do. And thank you so much for watching.